I talk to a lot of people who are looking to retire early. Makes sense. I have a YouTube channel about retiring early, but one thing that most of them miss is that they're way off on what they'll get from Social Security, and sometimes that makes a huge difference on what their retirement will look like. Today I'm going to break down why that mistake happens, how you can check your own benefit, and plan accordingly to avoid having this impact your own retirement plan. Let's make sure we're all starting from the same place. There are three major figures that play a role in what you'll get from Social Security to start with. Figure number one is that you need 40 quarters of earnings. You need 40 quarters of work paying into the system. Now, 40 quarters, that's 10 years worth of paying in, but it doesn't have to be 10 years in a row. Social Security says that in a quarter, if you have earnings of more than $1,810 or greater than that, you're credited with a quarter of coverage. Sometimes people refer to that as a Social Security credit. Now, at this point, basically any full-time work is going to have you well north of that number, and even part-time work would get you there depending upon the level of your wages. Also, that number is different for each year. That's the number right now. The number wasn't $1,800 a quarter 25 years ago, for example. Suffice it to say this: get 40 quarters into the system and you qualify for a benefit on your own earnings record. How much of a benefit is major figure number two? And it's based off of your highest 35 years of earnings. Technically, they're using something called averaged indexed monthly earnings, but this is a retirement video. It's not a Social Security training video, so suffice it to say that the amount of your benefit is based off of your highest 35 years. That means if you have more than 35 years of earnings history, for each additional year, the lowest earner year falls off and is replaced by the new higher year. This is why Social Security checks are sometimes recalculated for people who are already receiving them. Because if you're still working and paying into the system, even if you're receiving a benefit, and that pay is higher than your previous low year, you're going to get a new benefit amount because it's going to replace that low year. Also of note here is that if you have more than 40 quarters, remember, more than 10 years, but less than 35 years, you basically get a zero in your calculation for every year up to a total of 35. That's going to bring that average down and it's going to impact your check. So let's say that you have 25 years of work history. That's more than enough to get a check, but you're also going to have 10 years of zeros going into that average index monthly earning figure, which means a lower benefit. The last bit of business here, factor number three, is when you elect your benefit. The earliest is age 62. Full retirement age is trending up. It's going to be 67 very soon. And maximum age to claim is 70. As you're no doubt aware, the earlier you take it, the smaller it will be. The longer you wait, the larger it will be, maxing out at age 70. Now that we've got the basics out of the way, the issue when retiring early is this: if you log into your SSA.gov account and you aren't yet retired, it'll show you projected benefits at age 62. At your full retirement age, and at age 70. Here's the example. I ran a projection on the Social Security website of someone who is 55 years old right now and earning $150,000 per year. It tells us that at age 62, they would expect $2,397 per month. At full retirement age, it's up to $3,523 per month. And if they wait all the way to age 70, it's $4,448 a month. That's all in today's dollars. Now, if this person reached out to me and they said, I'm going to retire early, I've done well, I'm planning to retire at 60, I'll take Social Security at full retirement age, so I'm going to have $3,523 a month, then they've immediately got bad data. And I'll tell you, as a math nerd, there's nothing worse in a retirement plan than bad input, because if what goes in is bad, what comes out isn't going to be any better. And it's this little section right over here that is the bad part. See this? It says, we assume you will work every year up to the year in which you begin receiving benefits. I got this person making $150,000 a year right now at age 55. It's calculating these numbers as if they will keep working and keep earning $150,000 a year until age 62, 67, or 70. And that just isn't the case, whether it's flat out retirement or it's a mini retirement, cutting back along the way and still having some earnings. Either way, these numbers are assuming that you'll keep making $150,000 a year until you elect your benefit. And we know in this case, that's just not going to happen. So now we know that we got bad math. How do we get good math? Well, there's two ways. One, when we do Social Security planning for clients based on the conversations we have, what we put into our system will give us better numbers. So in that case, there's nothing that you have to worry about. The second way, if you're watching this and you're doing this on your own, if you're a do-it-yourselfer, you got a couple of different options. Make sure that you're using the more detailed calculator on the Social Security website where you can enter individual years. The quick calculator that they have online won't actually have this feature, but the detailed calculator has a version of this. They also have a downloadable calculator, and that's probably overkill for most folks, but that's another option. If you want to download it to your system and use it, it's going to give you the most flexibility in calculating your benefit, where you can put in earnings for each specific year and get some output that is actually meaningful to you. So let's go back to our case study. Exactly what impact do we have here? Well, the age 62 benefit, if you stopped earning and paying into the system, is going to drop down to an estimate of $2,141 per month. That's a few $100. It's not great. Hopefully it's not enough to sink a retirement. If you were planning to retire and a change in income of $200 a month ruins the retirement, you probably have bigger fish to fry. The numbers are going to get worse here if you're planning to take it later, because remember, the original calculation is assuming that you work and earn at your current level until you retire, which means it's estimating more years of high earnings into that benefit. So let's look at the next number. In this case, your age 67 full retirement age benefit, which was originally estimated to be $3,523 per month in today dollars, is now looking like $3,040 a month. That's almost $500 a month. That's almost 15% lower than originally expected. That's kind of a big deal. And at age 70, the number's going to get even worse. They had been estimating $4,448 a month. That's a tidy little sum. And now when we take out those future earnings, it drops all the way down to $3,770 a month. That's a drop of $678 every single month. Expressed another way, we look at the 4% rule as a guide for how much income you can draw from a portfolio. To get $678 a month at 4%, that's $8,136 per year. It would take more than $200,000 to recreate that lost income, $200,000 of portfolio value. And it was lost by just one small change in your plan. If you're one of my retire early folks, you know I'm with you. I think it's a great plan to have, but I stress this to you guys when I talk to you individually. Retiring before a conventional age brings its own unique challenges. This is just one of them. You got to have a good plan for all of them to pull off retiring early. If you're starting down that road, check out the links below and set up a call where me and my team can help you build a plan that addresses all of the challenges that come with retiring early. And until then, if you're looking for more Social Security fun, look no further than right over here.